Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the back garden yard. Well, we have a bitter cold coming alert, and what we're going to do today is we're going to try to protect some of our winter vegetables from as low as 14 to 16 degree lows that are coming in the next week. And today is January the 15th, and it's almost 55 degrees. It's perfect weather for working out here and doing this. And then tomorrow's low is going to get down below 20. And I think they said Wednesday morning it's going to get down like about 14 or 15 degrees. And that will lay this stuff flat if we don't protect it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover these cabbages right here. These cabbages, those three, I'm going to cover. I'm going to leave these four uncovered, and I'll be back in about a week and take the cover off, and we will see which ones did the best. And then the same thing I'm going to do here with the lettuce. I'm going to cover these four rows. I'm going to leave that top row there uncovered, and we'll see how that does. Now, I went ahead, we picked most of the cabbage that was here, and I went ahead and I picked the mustard greens because I know they will be very susceptible to the cold. So what I want to do, let's adjust the camera a little bit, is I'm going to cover these three, and first I'm going to cover them with some newspaper. Just like this. And I'll build a little tent over them, and then I'm going to take pine straw and I'm going to put over in a thick layer. And the main reason I'm using the newspaper here is to keep the center clean of the cabbage so I don't get all that trash in there. And I could hold it down with rocks, but I really think the pine straw itself will settle down and be enough to keep them covered. If not, I'll come out and put some rocks. I don't know how much wind we're going to get. Probably a good bit. Okay, so that is covered. Now, the next thing I want to do is the lettuce. Okay, so once again we're going to take newspaper and we're going to put a thin layer over this lettuce. Now you can see that this lettuce has already suffered from the 27 degree cold we've had, and it may or may not survive this, but it's the only chance I have to have an early lettuce crop. So I'm going to go ahead and try it. So I'm going to put the newspaper down. And your question may be, well, isn't all that weight going to flatten the lettuce? And the answer is yes. I'm not trying to actually preserve this for picking. I'm trying to just keep the plants alive so that they'll come back out in February when I'm starting my new lettuce in the greenhouse, and I'll already have this lettuce up. Okay, so now we've got the finished lettuce, and there's my control row over there that I'm not covering. Here's the finished cabbage, and there's my control row. Let me get out the sun so you can see the control row there. Then we're coming over here to the onions, and we're going to cover the onions. And on these I'm not going to use anything but pine straw, and the reason is I don't want to crush these little plants because they won't recover as well, and we eat these tops. So I'm going to try to put straw on each side and kind of mulch them, and then put straw over the top. So let's give that a try. So some people have asked, why don't I use plastic to cover the plants? And the answer is plastic will work just fine, and if that's all you have, that'll be fine. But what I've noticed when I've used plastic in the past is if it stays out there several days and it gets kind of warm during one day before you remove it, then what's going to happen is the plants will sweat, moisture will get at the top of the plastic, then it gets really cold again and it freezes and makes ice crystals. They get on the plants and will freeze the top of the plants, and that's usually not a good thing. The newspaper will allow some of the moisture to actually go through the paper, through the straw and out, and therefore then you don't get any crystallization at all from the extra moisture. So that's why I use straw and newspaper versus plastic. And with that, we're going to end this video for now, and then I'll be back with part 2 when I remove this. It's going to be a full week before I remove this, and so when I come back and remove it, I'll do another video on how well this worked to cover them up for a week through the hard freeze, and then bring it off and we'll take a look. And if you enjoy videos like this, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really will help me out, and it'll help keep the channel going. And we will see you on the next video.